This is how I got Left 4 Dead by IGG. Where should I begin from? Well, I have been playing this game called Lords Mobile by IGG, in other words call it by its full name IGG Games. Pretty amazing, isn't it? If the name is really described in full, says it all. They got games to play, and if you are not careful enough escaping out of their games and spell, you gotta be strong, which I have a bad feeling that these type of games they have are associated with bad spirits. You know, we have a saying where I come from that goes, walk to witness, come back to talk. I have been playing Lords Mobile for 3 years plus, and I never thought I could turn out to be a pay-to-play player from a free-to-play because of how the game environment is. This is my insight of the game and how the developers and the whole organization involved in the setup of such a game are reaping out people's money all around the world. The game looks like it's a nice game at first and you build it from scratch, but later on to find out it's gonna turn out to be a game that you find yourself outmatched. There are pay-to-play players whose castles are super advanced, meaning you are matched with monsters and there is no filter, like if you are at a certain level you will be matched with your fellow ranked players, but it's a game of highly advanced, modified, and monstrous castles versus those who are weak. Even when you manage to build your castle to a medium state, you will barely survive attacks, especially rallies, when one strong player gathers his teammates and gang up on you. What is the catch here? It will push you to spend more money so that you get strong too and don't get smashed all the time. And they have the so-called in-game items you could use to shield your castle and so on, but how long are you gonna keep on shielding? There is just too much, and I could go on and on to talk about how this type of game isn't fair at all. The thing I see here is that it is unhealthy getting hooked into such a game where you are always worried of shield drops if its time runs out, because if you have troops you are going to find all your troops smashed. Talk about big mighty players in the game have bots, and when such a thing happens they get a report, so a team that uses it, when one of them is online he gets notified, and guess what, they hurry up and port near your castle. The next thing you see is yourself burning, even though you are also pretty strong. They gang up on you. It does not matter if you are pay to play too and invested in nice gears. So someone who had invested in troops, you end up losing them, and rebuilding is costly too. And let's say you rebuild, then your shield drops when it runs out of time, that is if you didn't follow up with its expiry time, and boom, there you burn again. How long are you gonna keep up with such a thing? The war gears themselves, to push them to higher grades you spend lots of money on materials, and the drops are very bad most of the times. So all in all, IGG is only interested in getting your money. They don't care about what happens in the game. You can ask yourself, how was I left for dead by IGG as I started this message from the beginning? Well, I got scammed by someone who sent me a message in the game, but after he did, he changed his profile name, whereby when you click on it you can't know which person's account in the game sent it to me, but you can still view the message, and the avatar I saw like it was a 11k hero. So this guy talked of how he has a budget of 7k and is interested in my account game. Since I had took a break because of all the drama I talked about earlier and had decided to cut my losses and was not actively playing but was thinking of selling the game account but didn't want to sell it cheap, and I had decided to keep mine until otherwise I get a better offer, since most people who sell their accounts in such situations they sell them at cheaper prices, and IGG knows it, even though they say in their terms and conditions of not allowing account trading and sharing. Some had tried to give me offers but I had turned them down. So it's no surprise someone came up with a sinister plan to get it from me through such a way of giving me a higher offer, and I had a bad feeling IGG knows these kind of things, because I don't trust the industry at all because they are fraudulent themselves. So the guy had left a line contact and we met in Line app and had a conversation, and I told him I can sell my account to him at a lower price from his budget, and then he asked me if I have a middleman and I told him no, and he introduced me to his that he has like 3 middlemen he trusts and so on. I got introduced to the middleman, who turned out to be a lady as the pictures showed, and she dropped her rules in the chat as she has to get her middleman fee and I have to secure the account first to her, where she asked me the first receipts of purchases I have ever made during gameplay and some receipts from the last 6 months so that she can relink the game to a desired email. These are the kind of requirements IGG asks if there is a relink to be made for the account, and know that the middleman told me she has been doing it for like 4 to 5 years. Doesn't it ring a bell? I mean, for that long, and guess what IGG claims to be carrying out their T&Cs, and yet they know about this kind of situation. I was skeptical, though she kept on assuring me that nothing to worry about and that in a deal you need trust, otherwise you can't make a deal. I decided to give it a shot and gave her all the required documents, and guess what happened? She logged into my account, did the relinking, and after some hours passed when everything had already been relinked, then the game of hide and seek started. Like they wanted to pay me and acted like my PayPal account has a problem, like now they wanted me to use other means and that I send them my ID and some information so that they pay me through Western Union and so on. Then I told them I cannot do that. If they can't use the options I have, then they started to ignore me and never returned a response. So my instinct was they wanted also to have my ID so that they could fully have it, even when asked for proof they can show it like they are the true owners of the account. Now I ran to IGG support immediately for a rescue when I sensed that this has been a scam, but at first I didn't want to reveal to them that I was trying to sell my account, and I had trouble with that, and the feedback from IGG was not supportive, like they see the current person who hold my account as the legit owner of it. Whichever way I tried, it was just the same response as you see the screenshot. I was so agitated and frustrated and gave it a break, because I was like, anyway, after all I was not that active anymore and almost leaving the game, but something you know in your mind that you spent many years playing and spending your money in it, you don't want to give up that easily. So I came back the second time to pursue and get my account back, and this time around I told them the truth, how I got lured into that kind of scam, and IGG seemed like this time around they gonna do something about it, and I had a little breather thinking that it's gonna be different and get my account back and I see what else I can do. But not so long after, a day or so, the response still stayed heartbreaking, and that showed me that they are nothing but an accomplice with fraud that went on against me. In fact, the way I see it, they would rather support the person who scammed me and took my account, because they would expect more from the account if there would be money spent through it by either the person in possession of it or sold to someone else who will continue spending more through the account. So I conclude by saying that get out of that sinking ship before it's too late. IGG as a whole, they will do whatever it takes, be it adding up more stuff in the game to make you clinging up on making your castle more powerful and many other stuff. In the end they will leave you hurt, messed up, and worst case scenario bankrupt. Some of you can't see that you are giving away and spending your money to them, which in other words could have been saved for your future retirement when you grow old, or a future saving for your kids if you have any. Food for thought. I did make a choice. I have took the initiative and shared this view to expose this kind of situation and acts that I have experienced to help someone who might still be hooked in and still playing such type of a game and other related games from IGG. And for some new people thinking of joining such a game, I advise you don't even bother if you wanna live healthy and peaceful, because my ends now am free and can sleep well. No more late night sleeps because of events, guild mandatory stuff, and worries of getting rallied and so on, because when you do start playing and get addicted to it, be prepared for your healthy life and your family as well to be ruined. Take care and peace.